Kathy, and let me also say good evening to one and all, and to welcome all of you, as Kathy mentioned, to this, the official launch of this year's festival. You say you should not say protocol already being established, so I will not, and I will identify two persons to especially welcome in the persons of Senator Irene Garla Sanford, who was once a pupil of mine in a different capacity, and Cranston Brown, a very good friend of mine, who is now with the National Cultural Foundation. This function is primarily designed to bring together the main players within the festival. It's a kind of a mingle, because we have 101 sponsors, using that term loosely, and they will each see each other probably on a poster, in an advertisement, or hear the names called on a radio commercial or television commercial. But seldom will they have the opportunity to be in the same place at the same time in a nice setting like this. You all will obviously run into each other at the events, but again, you'll be busy taking care of business, and it will not give you the opportunity again to mingle and have a little chat and a drink afterwards, as you will be able to do this evening. So let me, first of all, thank Digicel Barbados for continuing to be with us non-stop from 2005, when we launched the first Reggae on the Hill, and then in the following year they assumed the role as our title sponsor. In these days of tough economic times, to have a company which supports you over so many years and continue to support you, I think that company is deserving of our highest praise and our highest thanks. Among the other companies who have supported us for most of those years, if not all, I'd like to say a special thanks to the likes of Remy Martin / Monkey, Angelinus, CBC TV, Starcom Network, SMJ Beverages, Armstrong Agencies, the management of Kesvin and Oval, Caribbean Airlines, Glacier Lice, the National Cultural Foundation, the Barbados Transport Board, MQI Motors, TicketPal, iExchange, and my other company, Al Hart Public Relations. We also have those that I've mentioned are in the categories of not title sponsor, but in the categories of platinum sponsors, gold sponsors, and associate sponsors. And one thing about the festival is that we attract quite a number of what we call friends of the festival. These are little small stores and other persons, hairdressers, etc., who don't have the necessary monetary wherewithal to give us money, hard cash, but they nevertheless support us by donating, in most cases, time that they might have booked on radio stations and television stations, and even in newspaper ads. They donate that time to us for the use of the festival. And there's several of them, and they know who they are. And I want to say thanks to you as well. The festival, as you know, starts on the 23rd of April. And the first event is the Digicel Reggae Beach Party. And that's at Pirates Cove Complex on Lower Bar Street, with the doors opening at 4 p.m. And our featured artists, non-Barbadian artists this year, are Conscience, DeMarco, and Massika. From Barbados, we have Mole, Lady Essence, SK, Stiffy, Skrilla, Marsville, and Jas Redis. It'll be hosted by Jamar the Star, and the DJs will include Monster Peace, DJ Puffy, Indian and Chris Gale, Mikey Dread, DJ Bum, Infamous, Hollywood HP, English, Ras and Chasey. The second event is the Digicel Vintage Reggae Show and Dance, which is on Friday, April the 20th, right here at Kensington Oval, in what we prefer to call the 3W's Arena or Theater, starting at 9 o'clock, but with doors opening at 7. And the featured artists, non-Barbadian, are Pinchers, Glenn Washington, Little John, Eric Donaldson, Florgon, Pluto Shepperton, and we want to mention or highlight that in the past, for vintage reggae, because we don't have any true vintage reggae Barbadian acts, we have used acts, vintage acts, which represent probably a combination of reggae, spooge, and other genres of music. And in the past, we've had the likes of Tony Grisette. And this year, our special act from the past, one of the most popular groups that Barbados knew in the 70s and the 80s and even before, and one that still gets a lot of airplay around the year and not just at Independence Time. I'm talking about Shirley Stewart and the Escorts International. Those of you who would have been party goers back in the day would know that Escorts International used to blow the roof off of every party spot in Barbados. And it gives us great pleasure this year to be able to include them in our lineup for the vintage. The Digicel Reggae Party Cruise, that comes off on Saturday, April 29th on board the Jolly Roger, sailing at 10 p.m. and returning at 2 p.m. and featuring Monster Peace, Hutchinson Ziz, Surf Rat, and from New York, Dooley Unruly, who is by chance a Barbadian as well. The big one, Digicel Reggae on the Hill, is on Sunday, April the 30th, and that's at usual Farley Hill National Park. Doors open at 11 a.m. And from overseas, it features a combination of older and younger stars, including Jamil, who is one of the younger, or the youngest, the legendary Coco T, Pop Can, who is again one of the younger or youngest, and some other legendary artists in Capleton, Sanchez, and Sprague Benz, along with Bugle. From Barbados, that event features Superforce, Triple X, Easy B, Amber Orano, a new app for us, in the Barbados Community College Reggae Ensemble. I think some members are with us and I'd like them to just step forward and show your faces. The members of the community college. I think this is history. This is history in the making. Thank you, guys. And perhaps the most popular and best known international Barbadian reggae artist of the day, who is more often than not performing in the Emirates, that person being Buggy, and Buggy will be performing with his fully loaded band, featuring Daniel, Risa, and Tabitha. It's been hosted by Vane and Peter Coppin, and the DJs will be John Doe and Tammy, DJ Indian and Chris Leal, Ras and Chasey, Daddy Biggs, Mikey Dread, and DJ Bomb. I've deliberately highlighted the local acts because quite often I hear people on the radio, calling programs, and other places condemning FAS for not supporting local reggae acts. Yeah, this year, because of financial constraints, we've even had to cut the number of local acts that we normally have for this event. But despite that, for the beach party, we have 3 Jamaican acts and 7 Barbadian acts plus 11 Barbadian DJs. For Reggae on the Hill, we have 7 Jamaican acts, 9 local acts, and 9 DJs. So if in a situation where we have been forced to cut back on our employment of local acts, we still have a larger number in each of those cases of local acts than foreign acts. I would like to know where we do not support local reggae artists. As usual this year, after the event here at Kensington and for the event at Farley Hill, we have special bus service provided by the Barbados Transport Board. For Vintage, the after show service starts at 3:30 a.m. and includes services to Martin Bay, Flat Rock, Bathsheba, Grisette's, Wanstead, Waltershill, Rock, Dundalk, Rock Hall, St. Andrew's Church, Surrey Village, Jackson, Workman, St. Jude's, Greens, Hall, Society, Bomaston, Sugar Hill, Chalky Mount, Indian Ground, Boscobel, Pike Corner, Josie Hill, Connelltown, Sam Lord's Castle, Fairy Valley, Silver Sands, Bayfield, St. Patrick's, Yorkshire, College Savannah, Sargent Street, and Fortescue. So this tells you that the bus service from the event will cover the entire, every parish in Barbados. And for people who are a little bit scared nowadays with all the rumors going around about cars driving behind you and trying to stop you by blowing the horns and winking the lights, this avoids having that scare. Leave your cars home, come and get in a safe public transport from the Barbados Transport Board. For Reggae Hill, the shuttle service starts in the morning at 11 a.m. from both the Fairchild Street and the Princess Alice terminals, and they will run throughout the day. The last service at the night, the last service to Farley Hill will leave at 4 p.m. And the round trip fare for that is $10, whereas for vintage, it's $7. My final comment, normally I say something controversial, but this year I am not that hostile. So my final comment about this festival this year has to do with not just the festival, but the contribution it makes to Barbados. And I'm not trying to steal the thunder of Senator Garner, who is representing the Ministry of Tourism here this evening, or of Cranston Brown, who is representing the National Cultural Foundation. But what I'm trying to say is that this year, Barbados has what can be called a trilogy of events, back to back, which can only impact significantly on arrivals in Barbados, as well as providing the highest level of entertainment possible for Barbadians at home. Starts with the festival in April. It continues in June, July with Crop Over, ending in August. And then immediately after Crop Over is the Carry Festa, represented by a whole host of Caribbean countries. And without doubt, Senator Garner, Sandyford will elaborate on that, as well as Cranston. But my concept, which I put out several years ago at an earlier launch, was that Barbados should position itself to become the entertainment capital of the Caribbean. For that, I was almost lynched. The only time I got more criticism than that on radio and newspaper articles and man on the street was when I, at a similar event, made a suggestion about reconfiguring or rebuilding Fard Hill so that it could become an entertainment and cultural hub for Barbados, catering not only to Barbadians, but to tour buses, tour buses, and everybody else on the island. But I got licks then, and I am still of that opinion. And I would like to refer you to what is happening now in a neighboring country, St. Lucia, where they have moved away from just their annual single jazz festival, and now there is straddling festivals right throughout the year with the aim of becoming, in their words, the festival country of the Caribbean. And this isn't just to provide St. Lucians with entertainment. This is intended specifically to attract thousands and thousands and thousands of more tourists and visitors to that country. So I would like to again put in my appeal to the powers that be to consider Barbados, whereas they're becoming the festival's hub, we become the entertainment capital of the Caribbean. And with that, I would like to say once again, thank you for being here. So far, the response to the festival has been very, very positive. As usual, there will be some people who would have a fuss to make about the artist. Everybody has their favorite artist, and if they don't see him or her on the card, they'll tell you, man, you should bring this and you should bring this person. But for us to satisfy everybody, the festival will run from April to November. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again, and nice seeing you here, and I look forward to being of service to you as we go through the different events this year. Thank you.